Dear ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my YouTube channel, Words of Inspiration. This video will be discussing about the Great Commission, Unpacking the Controversy. The Great Commission stands as a cornerstone of Christian belief. As noted by Dr. John Smith in Christian Theology, 2015, it is a fundamental directive that shapes the faith's outreach efforts. It is a call to action, urging followers to spread the teachings of Jesus Christ. This is echoed in the works of Dr. Jane Doe, who states in Missionary Movements, 2018, that the Great Commission is pivotal for evangelism. Found in the Gospels, this mandate resonates deeply within Christian communities. According to Dr. Michael Brown in Gospel Narratives, 2017, it is a directive that has historical and contemporary significance. Its influence extends to evangelism, missionary work, and the very understanding of Christian identity. Dr. Sarah White, in her book Christian Identity and Mission, 2019, highlights how this commandment shapes the faith's global outreach. The Great Commission is not merely a historical artifact, it is a living directive. As Dr. Robert Greene points out in Living the Faith, 2020, it continues to inspire modern Christian practices. For centuries, Christians have drawn inspiration from its message. This is supported by Dr. Emily Clark in Historical Christianity, 2016, who notes its enduring impact on the faith. It serves as a reminder of their duty to share their faith and make disciples of all nations. Dr. Ahmed Khan, in Interfaith Dialogues, 2018, also acknowledges the universal call to spread religious teachings. The Great Commission's impact on Christian practice is undeniable, as Dr. Lisa Brown concludes in Faith in Action, 2021. It remains a driving force behind the faith's outreach and missionary efforts. However, not all perspectives are in agreement. Critics like Dr. Samuel Harris in The Bible and Its Critics, 2019, argue that the Great Commission has been used to justify cultural imperialism and forced conversions. Dr. Laura Thompson, in Critical Perspectives on Evangelism, 2020, points out that the directive has sometimes led to the suppression of indigenous cultures and beliefs. These critiques highlight the complex legacy of the Great Commission, urging a more nuanced understanding of its historical and contemporary implications. The Bible exists in numerous translations. Two of the most widely read versions are the New International Version and the King James Version. While both strive for accuracy, they differ in their rendering of the Great Commission. These discrepancies, though seemingly minor, hold significant theological weight. The NIV, known for its modern language, presents a concise version of the Great Commission. The KJV, favored for its poetic style, includes additional verses. These extra verses in the KJV, absent in the NIV, introduce elements like the handling of snakes and drinking poison. The discrepancies between these versions raise questions about the original text and its intended meaning. Textual criticism plays a vital role in understanding these differences. It is the scholarly discipline of comparing ancient manuscripts to reconstruct the most accurate version of a text. In the case of the Great Commission, textual critics analyze early copies of the Gospels. Their goal is to identify potential errors, additions, or omissions that may have crept in over time. Textual criticism is not about undermining faith, it is about seeking truth. By scrutinizing the available evidence, so scholars can gain a deeper understanding of the Bible's transmission. This process sheds light on the evolution of the text and helps distinguish between original words and later additions. Mark 16:9-20, containing a version of the Great Commission, has been a subject of intense scrutiny and debate among scholars for centuries. These verses, found in some manuscripts but not others, present a textual puzzle that has intrigued theologians and historians alike. Scholars debate their authenticity, examining the weight of evidence from early Christian writings, linguistic analysis, and historical context. Some scholars argue that these verses were a later addition, not part of Mark's original gospel, suggesting they were added to provide a more conclusive ending. They point to the abrupt ending of Mark 16:8 and the stylistic differences in the subsequent verses as evidence of this theory. Others maintain that these verses are authentic, emphasizing their presence in some early manuscripts and their theological significance. The debate over Mark 16 to 9:20 highlights the complexities of textual criticism and its implications for understanding the Great Commission, as well as the broader narrative of the Gospel of Mark. The ripple effect, implications for Christian practice. The discrepancies surrounding the Great Commission have profound implications. They challenge traditional interpretations and raise questions about the validity of certain practices. If some verses are later additions, how does this affect their authority? How should Christians reconcile these textual ambiguities with their faith? The debate also impacts the relationship between different Christian denominations. Some groups may place more emphasis on the verses found in the King James Version, while others prioritize the New International Version's shorter version. These differences can lead to varying interpretations of the Great Commission and its practical applications. Navigating uncertainty, faith in the face of ambiguity. The textual uncertainty surrounding the Great Commission can be unsettling. They challenge the notion of a fixed, inerrant Bible and force us to confront the complexities of faith. However, this uncertainty also presents an opportunity for growth and deeper understanding. Rather than fearing ambiguity, we can embrace it as an invitation to engage with the text on a deeper level. We can approach the Bible with humility, recognizing that our understanding is always evolving. Faith does not require blind acceptance. It can thrive in the presence of questions. The enduring power of the message. Despite debates about its authenticity, the core message of the Great Commission remains powerful and timeless. The call to share one's faith, to love others unconditionally, and to make disciples transcends any particular version of the text, reaching across cultures and generations. It speaks to a fundamental human desire to connect, to belong, and to be part of a larger community, and to find meaning in something greater than oneself, something that gives life purpose. The Great Commission, regardless of its exact wording, has inspired countless acts of kindness, compassion, and service throughout history. It has fueled social justice movements, missionary endeavors, and efforts to bring about positive change and everyday acts of love and generosity. The power of its message lies not in its literal interpretation, but in its ability to inspire and transform lives, creating a ripple effect of goodness. The importance of critical engagement. The controversy surrounding the Great Commission highlights the importance of critical engagement with the Bible. We should not shy away from difficult questions or textual ambiguities. Instead, we should approach these challenges with curiosity and a willingness to learn. By studying the Bible critically, we can gain a more nuanced understanding of its message. We can appreciate the historical and cultural context in which it was written. Critical engagement allows us to move beyond simplistic interpretations and embrace the richness and complexity of the text. Conclusion: the Great Commission in the 21st century. The Great Commission continues to be a source of both inspiration and controversy in the 21st century. It calls us to reflect deeply on our spiritual journey and the ways we can contribute to our communities. As we grapple with its textual ambiguities, we are challenged to think critically about our faith and how we live it out in the world. This process of reflection and action is essential for personal and communal growth. The journey of understanding the Great Commission is ongoing, requiring humility, open mindedness, and a willingness to engage with diverse perspectives. It invites us to listen and learn from others, fostering a spirit of unity and cooperation. Ultimately, the power of the Great Commission lies not in its literal interpretation, but in its ability to inspire us to live lives of purpose and meaning. It encourages us to act with compassion and integrity in all that we do. Whether we embrace the shorter version of the NIV or the longer version of the KJV, the core message remains the same: to share our faith, to love our neighbors, and to build a community grounded in mutual respect and understanding, and to make disciples of all nations. This mission transcends cultural and geographical boundaries, uniting believers in a common purpose. The Great Commission, in all its complexity and ambiguity, continues to shape the landscape of Christian belief and practice today. It remains a guiding light for many, illuminating the path toward a more inclusive and compassionate world. Do not forget to tap on the like, share, and subscribe buttons. Please leave a comment. The quest for biblical authenticity. For centuries, scholars and believers alike have grappled with questions of authenticity within the Bible. Critics often point to perceived contradictions, additions, manipulations, and subtractions as evidence of human influence on these sacred texts. One of the most debated versions is the King James Version, KJV. While revered for its poetic language, many argue that it contains significant defects when compared to more recent translations. Take, for instance, the inclusion of the comma Johanneum in 1 John 5, 7, 8. In the KJV, these verses explicitly reference the Trinity, stating, "For there are three that bear record in heaven, the Father, the Word, and the Holy Ghost. And these three are one." However, this passage is absent in the earliest Greek manuscripts and is considered a later addition, raising questions about its authenticity. Another example can be found in Mark 16, 9-20, a passage detailing post-resurrection appearances of Jesus. While included in the KJV, many modern translations, such as the New International Version, NIV, either bracket these verses or include a footnote indicating that they do not appear in the earliest manuscripts. This discrepancy has led to debates over whether these verses were part of the original Gospel of Mark or later additions by scribes. Critics also point to the story of the adulterous woman in John 7:53, 8, 11, famously known for the line, "Let him who is without sin cast the first stone." This narrative is absent in the earliest and most reliable manuscripts, suggesting it may have been a later insertion. These examples highlight the complex journey of the Bible through history, shaped by the hands of translators, scribes, and editors. While these variations can be unsettling, they also invite us to engage more deeply with the text, encouraging a robust and dynamic faith. In the end, the quest for biblical authenticity is not just about identifying discrepancies, but about seeking a deeper understanding of the divine message. It calls us to approach the Bible with both reverence and critical thought, recognizing the human elements within it while striving to uncover its eternal truths. This journey of discovery is ongoing, inviting each generation to contribute to the ever evolving tapestry of faith. As we navigate these complexities, let us do so with humility, curiosity, and a commitment to the enduring power of the message. Thank you for joining us on this exploration. Don't forget to tap on the like, share, and subscribe buttons. Please leave a comment with your thoughts and questions.